currently the day before it's supposed to get really cold here in Dallas. I was hoping the forecast would change a bit and it wouldn't get as cold as they predicted earlier this week, but it does look like we're going to get a hard freeze tomorrow morning, in which case I don't think that the frost cloth that I put over the tomato beds is going to cut it. When it's just a frost and the temperatures stay around 35 or above, that's when vegetables still kind of stand a chance, if they have protection. But when it gets below freezing, there's really not much you can do. I don't remember the last time we got a hard freeze in October. Anyways, we'll still hope for the best, but it's not looking good for the summer veggies. Today, I'm harvesting all of my peppers, even if they're not completely ripe. I'll put these in a sunny location and they should ripen within the next couple of days. And then I'm also going to go ahead and harvest all of my daisy gourds because those shouldn't survive a freeze either. Alright y'all, so in my last video when I said hope for the best but prepare for the worst, this is what I meant. I was hoping the temperatures wouldn't dip as low as they were forecasted to, but we did in fact get a hard freeze. I think it got as low as 30 degrees on Tuesday morning, which at that point there's really nothing I could have done. Frost cloth won't cut it for temperatures that low, so my tomatoes and eggplant did end up dying. Gardening is all about managing expectations and doing the best with what you've got, so I went ahead and harvested all of the tomatoes that were on the plants. I'm not sure if these will end up being any good because freezing temperatures will damage the cellular structure of the tomato and essentially cause it to become mush, but we're going to go ahead and see if any of this is salvageable. I took the tomatoes inside, removed the green tops, and gave them a good wash, and now I'm going to be putting them in these paper bags where they will hopefully ripen and not taste horrible. This is what I had to do with my spring tomato harvest after the garden was destroyed by a hailstorm, and that worked fine, but yeah, it's really not a good year for my tomatoes. The flower bed I covered seems to be fine, so that's good news. I'm going to clear out the tomato beds and then get them ready for more planting. So it's been 3 or 4 days since the freeze. I wanted to give everything just a little bit of time to settle, but I'll go ahead and do a walkthrough. So all of the cold hardy vegetables, those are obviously fine, like this cauliflower. I think those are cauliflower too. This pepper actually looks okay, so I'll probably leave it, but most of the other peppers are dead. The lemon tree I brought inside, so that's obviously fine. And then everything in this bed pretty much died. So the eggplant, you can see it had a ton of eggplants on it that I didn't even know about. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I did get a whole bunch from this plant earlier in the season. And then the tomatoes are pretty much all dead. These ones down here are alive, but I don't think that they don't have any tomatoes on them down here, and I don't think that they would grow and have enough time to produce and ripen tomatoes, so I think I'm just going to clear that out anyways. And then yeah, everything up here is very dead. My herb bed looks great though. My nasturtium is a little bit sad, but I think it's still alive. These do not like the cold, so that's not surprising. I did end up covering this lightly with some extra cloth that I found, so this is still looking pretty good. Sweet potato vine is very dead, so that will be cleared out. The peppers back here actually look pretty great, so I'll probably leave these ones in and see if they do anything. These are the habanada peppers that I planted earlier this fall. This pepper looks sad, but it's looked sad for months, so this pepper, this is the Pequeño pepper. This one's dead. The marigold is dead. And then the winter squash, the daisy gourd, is also dead. This pepper actually looks pretty good though. This is the round of hungry pepper. Those are the red ones that I harvested right before the freeze. It's got a little bit of damage, but I think I'll probably leave this one and just see what it does. All of the crimson clover that I planted looks fine though, so that's really good. Over here is the other tomato bed, obviously very dead. The marigolds did manage to make it though. I need to do some deadheading, but otherwise those look pretty good. And then same on this side. And then this is kale, so that's fine, and rosemary, also fine. This bed is all of my winter vegetables. So we got some broccoli, pak choi, other broccoli, and kale down here. Those all look great. This marigold died, but that was expected. And then my fig tree got some damage as well, which was a little surprising to me because this is supposed to be cold hardy down to 10 degrees. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe the leaf damage is expected, but I'm gonna need to look into it, and I'll probably bring it in next time it gets pretty cold. Garlic is obviously great. These flowers over here were a mix of cold hardy and not cold hardy, so stock does well in the cold, so these are fine. But then these were zinnias, so these are looking a little sad. They don't look dead though, so I'll probably clean up the leaves a bit and just see what they do. I don't have anything else to plant here right now, so no harm in leaving it in. This pepper actually looks, I mean, it doesn't look great, but it looks alive. This is what is this? This is the Mad Hatter that I harvested everything from before the freeze. So I'll probably leave this one too. It does still have some peppers on it that are growing, so we'll see about that one. This was the flower bed that I covered, and everything in here is also pretty cold hardy, so these all did fine. These snapdragons up here, scabiosa, cauliflower, the snap peas still look great. I think this is more cauliflower, calendula, which are not cold hardy, but since they were under the frost cloth, they did fine. And then some kale. This marigold looks pretty sad, so I'll probably pull that. But yeah, this bed still looking great. And then this pepper died. This is the other Mad Hatter. And then here I had a mixture of cold hardy and not cold hardy flowers, so you can see which ones were which. Straw flower is pretty cold hardy, so that's still looking fine. But these I will pull. And then I brought my eucalyptus inside, so that looks fine. Dianthus is cold hardy, so those are still pretty good. And then my perennial vine is still looking pretty good. Oh, look at this pretty flower. That's fun. And then I did cover my nasturtiums because I really love nasturtiums, and I wanted these to survive, so they still look pretty good. So they probably won't last much longer, but as long as I can keep them, I want to keep them. So, but yeah, that's, I think, everything. So today the plan is going to be taking out everything that is dead, which is like my second or third favorite thing to do in the garden. And then we will go from there. All right, the first bed is all cleared out. I forgot about my cauliflower right there, so that's still doing good. I took out the plants entirely, including their root systems. Some people like to leave those. I don't. That's just a personal preference. So I'll probably deadhead the marigolds a bit, but those still look great. So yeah, first bed is done. Now to the second. Alright, second bed is all cleared out. These cauliflower are going to be much happier now that they're getting more sun. So now I have to clear out all of the other things that died, but that will be much easier than these 2 tomato beds. We are all cleaned up, so I'll talk a little bit about what I think I'm going to do in these beds. So I think I'm going to start some kale to put in here, and that will be good in the fall and the winter. I also have some onions that might be going in here. I haven't quite decided where those are going to go yet, but yeah, starting some kale and planting some onions in this bed. I was going to use this flower bed over here for my spring bulbs, but that would mean taking everything out of it in November or December. And as long as like the flowers in there right now are still growing, I'd rather not take them out. So I might use this bed for my spring bulbs and then plant my tomatoes in here in the spring. A little undecided, but that would be good for crop rotation anyways. So that's the plan right now. And we'll see if that ends up being a thing. If these are mostly dead when I want to plant my spring bulbs, then I'll probably go ahead and plant them over there. But yeah, if that bed is still going strong, then I think this would be a good bed to plant those in. So I'm just going to leave this as is for now, and then we'll see what things are looking like in end of November, early December. And then I think I'm going to mostly leave this bed as is. I might come back and plant more crimson and clover just because I have more space now that those other plants have been cleared out. But yeah, I think this one, it's so shaded back here anyway. I think it's mostly done until the spring. So this is mostly just going to stay as is. And I think that's it for today. It's getting kind of hot outside. Just like perfect weather for tomatoes. But yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love when my garden is full of green plants and looking very lush, but there is something so nice about having it all cleaned out. So I'll do one more little walkthrough just so you can see how everything is looking now that I've gotten it all cleaned up. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.